Ariel Helwani in Houston, gearing up for UFC 136 alongside Chael Sonnen, who meets Brian Stann this Saturday night live on pay-per-view. And Chael, I have to say sincerely, it is good to see you back. It's fight week, and it's been a while, obviously, so just want to throw that out there. It's good to see you again.
I appreciate that, buddy. It's good to see you as well. It's good to be back, getting in the flow of things.
What is it like getting in the flow of things? You've had to sit on the sidelines for a long time. Is it fun for you to be back out here again?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if fun is the word I would use. It's what I'm used to. You know, this isn't a fun sport. If someone wants to have fun, I wouldn't recommend they get into MMA. But yeah, I mean, this is the process. This is what I do. So it's good to be back.
Do you believe in the theory of ring rust? And if so, do you think it will affect you on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to believe in it. I don't know. I've never been in this spot. I've just seen other guys do it. And it seems to affect everybody. You know, you got to understand, when I left, I was the best by a lot. The next closest guy wasn't even close. I was 300 punches better than the next closest guy. So if I'm worse now and I'm only 290 punches better than the competition, I'm still on top.
Not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Now, I'm just wondering, obviously, it's been a while since we've seen you. Are you a different Chael Sonnen? Have you worked on anything that, you know, I saw you working on some spinning back kicks in the cage and whatnot. Have you added any tools to your arsenal since you've last fought?
No, I try to. I mean, I try to for every fight. You know, always skill building. There's no spot in the octagon I'm comfortable. There's no spot where I think, okay, we got that covered, let's move on. So I try to get better everywhere. And, you know, from the techniques you just mentioned to, you know, stuff on the ground, conditioning, strength, you know, whatever it is, always working hard. And again, you know, I don't want to just be the best. I want to be extremely dominant. I want to really expand that gap. So, you know, you take risks. Sometimes you learn new techniques, and in the process you forget the old ones. So it is a risk when you work with new coaches and go to new gyms and stuff. But you know, it's part of the process of continuing to try to get better.
You have talked about switching things up from a camp perspective. Why did you decide to do this?
Well, I just kind of needed a little bit of a change, a little closer to my house, driving-wise. For 10 years, I've been to the same gym twice a day, every day. You know, the same drive, the same smells, the same sights, and just try to kind of get a little bit of a change, maybe just more mentally than physically, just kind of mentally switch things up a little bit, and maybe take in a new venue for a little bit, see some different sights.
There has been a lot of talk, and I think you've heard some of this, that we're seeing a kinder, a gentler Chael Sonnen. What do you make of all that? It's almost like, to me, it reminds me of that scene from Goodfellas when people were telling, you know, Joe Pesci was like, what am I, a clown? Am I here to amuse you? It's like people are almost expecting, you know, material out of you. What do you think of that pressure?
Well, you know, look, I don't think a whole lot about it. You know, I don't know what you're going to ask me, but when you ask it, I try to answer it to the best of my ability, you know, and I don't make things up. If I didn't mean it, I wouldn't say it. And I've never apologized for anything I've ever said. And at the same time, I'm just not going to make something up about this next opponent. I like him. I've liked other opponents, and we're going to go out and take care of business anyway.
When we talked to you in July, he was not on your mind. I mean, I even remember at 132, I think you took a picture with him. You guys were friendly. So were you disappointed when they offered you Brian? Because it seems to me like you sort of fuel off that sort of grudge against another guy that you're about to fight.
Yeah, you know, when his name came out of the hat, you know, if they would have said, hey, who's the one guy you don't want to fight, you know, his name would have been in there. Chris Liebert, Ed Herman, you know, my teammates and brothers. I wouldn't, of course, want to fight them, but yeah, I mean, nobody wants to fight Stan. You know, he really is a nice human being, and he's also a very vicious competitor. So now you've got a guy that knows how to compete, and there's no resentment going in. You know, you kind of got a couple things to deal with, his abilities and then your own going, oh man, I really think this is a swell guy. So, you know, it's the way it goes. It's just the way it goes.
Do you think Brian Stann is as good as, you know, the Andersons, the Nate Marquardt, some of the guys you fought recently? Do you think he's as good as them at 185?
Well, you know, I'll have to let you know. All I know is what I've seen of him on film. You know, he beat some guys faster than I could beat those guys. I fought Chris Lieben plenty of times, and I've never knocked him down once. He knocked him down a few times all in the same round. So that means something to me. You know, I watched that and go, wow, that was impressive. So I don't know. I'm confident that he's very good, but I've got my skills too, and I'll bring them. And one thing you can count on is I will not back down. I will not lay down for anybody. And if he wants me down, he's going to have to keep knocking me down. And if he can do it and he can win this fight, then God bless him. He deserves it.
And the last time he fought a wrestler like yourself was Phil Davis. It was at 205, but same skill set. Have you watched that fight? And are you going to try to replicate the sort of weaknesses that Phil Davis exposed when they fought?
Well, I'll go out there and compete. And if I can get him down, fine. But then what am I going to do with him when I get there? There's a lot more to it than just the wrestling. So I haven't thought about it a whole lot. That's a good fight and a good comparison you just made. I hadn't thought about that a lot. I did see the fight. I was on the card with him. I fought Nate Marquardt that night, so I saw the fight, and I don't really remember it. Maybe I'll have to go back and look at that.
You should, in the next couple of days or so.
Yeah, thank you.
Dana was non-committal when we asked him if the winner of this fight is going to fight for the title. What's your take? I mean, if you beat Brian Stann, do you think you deserve another shot at Anderson?
Well, I don't deserve anything. Look, this is a #1 contender fight. Whoever wins this fight's fighting for the title.
Says who, though?
They can do whatever they want. If they want to switch that or they see a better fight, they're the experts on that topic. I got a different job. I walk to the ring with short pants and a mouthpiece, and I put my hands up and fight. And if the guys that know better think there's another fight, I'm not here to get in the way. But whoever wins this fight's going to fight for the belt.
All right, Chael. Well, good luck to you. Great to have you back, and we look forward to this fight on Saturday night.
I appreciate it. Thank you.